Hello everyone, you're watching the Footy Forum Qatar World Cup 2022 with me, Rizal Hashim. I'll be joined by Haresh Deol and also Datuk Richard Scully. Datuk Richard Scully is the Football Coaches Association of Malaysia Vice President.
Vice President,
betul?
exactly.
Apa khabar Datuk?
Baik, sihat.
Sihat, ha? Haresh is the editor of 2213.my, multiple award-winning journalist and famous sports critic. Haresh Deol and my former colleague at the Malay Mail.
Thank you for saying that. I was just waiting for you to say that.
Okay. Tonight we'll be discussing, of course, the highly anticipated match in Group E between Germany and Spain. But before that, we'll be discussing a lot of other stuff, other aspects of the game, of the tournament. Basically, the story so far. So, among the highlights of the tournament, Datuk and Haresh, the goal, the what you call goal of the tournament so far, what would it be? Which one would you pick? Would it be the one scored by Richarlison for Brazil against Serbia, the scissors kick, or the one converted by Timothy Weah for USA? Which one would that be, Datuk? From your perspective?
Well, in my opinion, and in my opinion and my technical standpoint of view, I think the Brazil one actually created an impact. It's not so much so about the act of that thing you have done, but I think biomotor ability that has involved in that act. And you could see, if you could see a still photo, I could see it was a well balanced on the spreading of the arms to keep himself balanced on the air. He struck on the right leg, so the left leg was slightly bent to keep it balanced, and the last strike was on the lace of the shoes, and it was on the middle center of the ball, and it is technically perfect. The strike. If you look at it, the strike, and you see even that strike was followed through by what his eyes was in contact with the ball. It's an excellent technical biomotor ability has transformed into the goal.
Wah, Datuk boleh jelaskan dekat list sampai dekat tali boot sekali.
So that's the chronology of his striking. It's not just striking.
The move, I remember Vinicius Junior was running and then passing the ball to Richarlison, and then he was dia ambil bola tu lambung, then he completed the
because there was a continuity of setting it up. Right,
setting it up,
because if you need a half volley, you can't strike it on level low. It must be somewhere mid-air. So that also, to my opinion, is a calculated lift up because of his height. His belly button and below, you need certain height to strike the ball. If it's beyond, then you will miss the strike.
Memang dirancang lah.
So I think this is a training ground delivery.
So he has been training for that.
Definitely.
He has been waiting for that moment.
Definitely, because to do such an act, it's not, no two person is the same. Someone else's would not have struck in that manner because of his physiological being. His belly button and above, maybe he has longer legs, so you need a longer setup. This guy has got just nice to do that act.
What about you, Haresh? Do you agree with that? That it was a training ground punya delivery?
Yang pertama sekali, yes, that goal was to date is the goal. Based on two things. While Datuk Richard went really technical about it,
betul,
I'm just going to give you the layman's
observation.
Yes. First and foremost, the fact that it's still been spoken about till today.
Exactly.
I mean, among friends, among acquaintances, ramai yang masih memperkatakan about that goal. They can't even remember any other goal except goal yang pertama. And secondly, is the confidence to do that act on a major stage.
Exactly.
To do that, the level of confidence is, like some Chinese fellows would say, "Walao eh."
Exactly. You're right.
So happened it was his World Cup debut, kan, Richarlison?
I mean, that oozes confidence, that act itself. So that says a lot about him as a striker and him as the future of Brazil.
But Datuk, you remember Salim Al-Dosari winning a goal against
Saudi Arabia number 11.
Yes.
Yep.
That's from the edge of the box.
Yeah, that's another unique of an Asian player. It's a unique because when you talk about Asian players, we are we are agile. We are able to do. You look at takraw players, you know, they can just keep themselves, their body balance on there, and they hit. So that is the added value for Asian players. And going back to Habib Dosari, who you have just mentioned, I think he has that inborn thing. He has it, right? And of course, that has contributed to his excellent scoring and you know.
Did you watch that goal, Salim Al Dosari, winning goal against Argentina?
I remember the first goal that was scored, where you rightfully mentioned it was right at the box, and then it just that hit just went through right to the corner, top corner. Yes, I remember that goal very clearly. The second goal not so much, a bit fuzzy because there's just too many goals to recall.
The winning goal was when Al Dosari slalom past two players, with satu bola yang melencong masuk.
Yes, correct.
Martinez,
Look at his close kill. Look at his close skill, right? He take on one, he could take on two. That require exactly close skill, where your at this level we are not talking about technique, because this is all above technical abilities of players. That's why they are here in the World Cup. But what important is keeping the ball under control until under tight situation, keeping it so that he knew what was the next action after taking on, as you said, taking on one or two players. So that is more close skill ability of this player.
Yeah, and after delivering that winning goal, he celebrated by doing the somersault.
That's another gymnastic ability lah. Gymnastic ability. But I think it is actually not encouraged too, because they might end up injury and everything. But this is their own ability. Because I think the sponsors might don't want them to take risk. They don't want to lose one good player by just doing not scoring, but after scoring do something stupid
that was a moment of euphoria lah. Celebrating.
He have done it before.
Not easy.
He has done it before.
Beating Argentina, in the opening match. But after that, losing to Poland pula. Saudi Arabia.
I think they engaged the first game too early.
Let's discuss another goal. João Felix, Portugal against Ghana after a superb pass from Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes threaded through a pass, penetrated the Ghanaian defense, and then João Felix lobbed the ball over the keeper. So that was also a fantastic goal, in my opinion.
But you said playing the ball in between the lines. That is
Bruno Fernandes through ball.
Playing the ball in between the lines. That is the initial act of the next one. So I think credit should be given to the first one.
Fernandes,
playing the ball in between the passing lines, because they will just always look for the gate. Play in between the gate. So the gate was a little bit loose. They managed to play, and that was the damage caused. So I think the credit should go to the first act rather than the scorer.
The scorer.
The scorer.
The one who came up with the assist. João Felix lobbed the ball.
So I think the first playing the ball in between the passing line, that was a plus.
But wasn't this the goal that caused a little bit of controversy because of the offside?
No, that was the Liao, the winning goal. Rafael Liao.
Right. That was a bit of a slight controversy there.
So they were saying that maybe why when it involved an African team, Ghana, the referee did not call for assist or VAR. So that's the discretion of the referee. But again, what's the use of VAR? What's the use of having VAR? That means you have to determine every single movement, right? Especially when you need to ascertain whether it was a goal or not.
Correct.
But it's again looking at VAR. After you're viewing the VAR, and the last result is still the referee calls.
Still lies with the referee.
Right? If he thinks, to his opinion, it's a foul, it's a foul. If he thinks that it's not. So if he makes a wrong call, it's a wrong call. Finish. But if he come back and the panel sits, debate, and come to a conclusion, then there will be a demerit for him.
But we cannot be debating every issue until the cows come home.
True, very true.
The whole VAR
issue
thing, not to say issue, the fact that it's introduced, to be honest, the opening match when Qatar played, within the first 3 minutes, 5 minutes, there was already the whole notion or the whole fact that was introduced immediately within the first 5 minutes, and it just scraped the momentum, spoiled the momentum.
Agree.
That's not. I know some people are saying that, oh, if not for the VAR, we'll be having incidents like the hand of God and so forth and so on.
See,
but those are conversations.
Exactly. On the naked
That's
eyes,
part of the universal appeal of football.
in the naked eyes, you would not have caught that offside. It's just a toe up front.
Just a toe, yeah.
So why? I agree to you. Why kill the beauty of that act?
You just kill the whole momentum.
And going back to added times. We got
added time,
14 minutes added time. My goodness.
Okay, thank you for saying that because I thought I was the only one finding it very peculiar. I was like, 8 minit, 7 minit, 14 minit. Apa? Biar benar.
Kalau dekat sini, netizen dah belasah dah referee 14 minit.
Referee will be hit flat. 14 minutes, crazy. Now 4 minutes of people making noise. 10 minutes people getting punched already. So what is this? This is something to ponder.
Maknanya Datuk, this World Cup, this edition of the World Cup exposes us to a lot of today's trend of football lah.
Exactly.
In managing a game, in match officials having to deal with VAR and also having to deal with decision ni yang sekelip mata.
So sorry, tapi I kena throw this question to the both of you. Don't you think that in this era whereby attention span is getting shorter, such decisions is actually prolonging the match?
Exactly.
Memang orang sekarang ni, attention span semakin pendek. They want things fast. Tengok bola pun 90 minutes tak lepas. Tengok highlight.
But when it comes to football, artikel yang panjang pun orang baca. Haresh Deol kalau tulis panjang berjela-jela pun orang akan baca.
Tak ada, yang tu Rizal je yang baca, yang lain tak baca.
No, because you see, even the athletic.com,
yes.
comprising of journalists from best or most renowned journalists in UK, they write all
long form. Yes, okay, fine. But that's a different conversation. But what I'm trying to say is that in sports,
but it's part of the fun lah sekarang ni. Pergi game, lepas tu kena bersabar, tengok sekejap, lepas tu ada VAR lagi.
But I agree to Haresh because that actually takes up the time. That's why now it rings the bell. It goes beyond 14 minutes of added time and so on. But I think if they're going to go playing time, ball playing time, ball play, you play, ball stop, time stop. You in the normal statistic of world football, you play only 32 minutes of football.
Okay.
Of football, 32 minutes. The rest ball goes out.
On paper, 90 minutes, but actually, actual playing time is only 32 minutes.
Yes, 32. Clock stop. Ball goes out. Clock stop. Ball move. Clock stop. Free kick. No move. Clock stop. 32 minutes only.
That's very high level. The fans are paying for only 30 minutes of football.
You don't tell them this. You tell them this, then the people don't make. That's what we are here for. Tell them, pay and go and watch the extra 14 minutes and come back.
Thank you, Datuk, for the insight. Okay, most impressive team display so far. England winning 6-2 against Iran.
Spain also beat.
Spain winning 7-0 against Costa Rica.
I think Spain, it was like a curtain raiser for them. In the 7-0 result is a curtain raiser for them. You come, you warm me up, Actually, Costa Rica warmed them up. They are just so that I a little bit disappointed. I didn't expect this big of a margin, but of course goes back to England's match as well. There's a lot of space and time given, so I can do what I want, but they can't go into the next match in the same mindset. They will be wet if they go, because I really took me by surprise. Why Costa Rica play in such a manner? You are at this stage of the world, you got to deny any possibility of him. Never mind, you on paper probably you might lose, but do not increase that margin to reduce the margin. And it was really disappointing for me, but I'm not also impressed with Spain in that manner.
No, really impressed.
What is 7-0 for them?
Spanish fans ni.
It's okay, right? We'll watch them the next match, see what they can do. We'll watch them tonight, what they can do. But German, I know this do or die, they got to win. So there's a different ball game atmosphere and everything. So we will see some interesting moment into this morning.
Harish, mana yang you fikir match?
Your question was the most
impressive team display lah.
Team display. Now, yang dua contoh yang you bagi tu of the matches, that one atas kertas result nampak cantik lah. But if you ask me, the opening matches for Saudi dengan Argentina, dengan Japan dengan Germany, Why?
Okay, alright.
Because both teams were down 1-0
Yeah.
and they pulled a comeback against the biggest names
Betul,
in football. So I think as a team, as a unit, they did the impossible. They made they made multiple conversations.
Yeah, exactly.
People took attention. So I think to me, setakat ni is the fact that Saudi and Japan actually from 1-0 down to menang 2-1.
Lepas tu game kedua kalah.
Okay, I will get to that because I
Yes.
feel very sorry for Japan, but I don't know whether you want to talk about it now ataupun later. Tapi I feel very sorry for Japan.
Later nanti kita
okay, we keep it for later. Then.
Yes.
Because I have my thoughts about Costa Rica juga.
Okay. Okay, what's your thought on Costa Rica? Oh, later lah lepas kita cerita nanti Costa Rica menang ni. Costa Rica menang after after 81st minute goal from Kesha Fuller.
I feel so sorry for Japan, but yeah.
Most disappointing team. Qatar?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, not Qatar.
Yes, no.
Despite winning 1-0 against Japan.
Have you see once again you berbalik kepada Rizal. Watch the matches. Costa Rica shouldn't even be part of the World Cup if you ask me.
If you read along the line what I say, that's what he's echoing.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Costa Rica is the most disappointing team.
Exactly.
Dengan Spain, look at the stats. Spain were in their half, like what?
Yeah.
Okay, you said 32 minutes live, so 31 minutes.
They were all there.
Okay.
So it's like.
And then you see shots at target, Costa Rica throughout this World Cup campaign. Boleh kira dengan satu tangan tau. Shots on target.
Yeah. And the only shot on target
against
Japan goal.
And against Japan, they only had one shot at target.
Yeah.
And that was translated into a goal. So because of that, I feel so sorry for the Japanese team. They were clearly the better team. First half, although teruk, but second half they played better. They were the better team, but that this is football lah. Like I tweeted, this is football.
Yeah.
Brutal.
What about Qatar being knocked out?
You talk like as though Qatar you expected them to win the World Cup.
No, because record suggests that hosts usually will enjoy home ground advantage.
Friend, we're talking about Qatar lah.
No. In
But
reality,
they were Asian Cup.
They were not even supposed to host the games. What are you talking? It's like let's not go down that road.
that usually happens. In '97, the same thing. We hosted the World Cup. 97.
We hosted
Hey, bro. 97, we hosted the World Cup. Perfectly organized.
Betul.
But in reality, you think you can beat them? Sorry to Hatim Suseh, sorry to B. Satyanathan.
Hatim Susi.
Yeah, but this is what happened. The reality is, but they should be thankful that they are playing host.
Yeah.
The economy raised up a little bit. The world recognizes them.
Betul.
Thank you very much. Beautiful things and blah blah.
Yeah.
You take credit for that.
Okay.
You don't take credit for the result and the World Cup. Now, let's be more realistic when we talk. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to Qatar for holidays also, but they will allow me to come in. Just not because what I've said this. Right?
When are you going to Qatar? During this World Cup?
I cannot tell. The others will.
Okay. We'll go for a short break, Datuk and Haresh.
Okay.
Sure.
After this, we'll come back and we'll discuss about some Malaysian perspective on Eve Rena, the Saudi Arabia coach. Stay tuned.
Rizal and Anas, I have a question for you guys about the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Who are you guys rooting for?
Brazil or Argentina?
Two teams.
Yes.
How about you?
I want a surprise, an African team to win the World Cup.
What team is that?
Ghana or Senegal.
It's very interesting. For me, I'm rooting for Brazil.
Because of Neymar?
A part of it is yes, because of his skills. But if you want to see us discuss more on the upcoming FIFA World Cup, don't forget to tune in SinarDaily.my and follow all of our social media platforms to see the latest updates on the upcoming episodes.
The Footy Forum will illuminate your football diaries.
And eliminate your political fatigue.
Okay, see you guys there.
Red One, back to basics.
You're watching the Footy Forum Qatar World Cup 2022. Marhaba ya Qatar. Apa khabar? Ahlan wa sahlan. Betul Datuk?
Betul.
Haresh. Okay, just now before we go for a break, I teased the audience something to do with Avirena, the Malaysian perspective. You know, he was in fact the assistant coach for Claude Lohua when Claude was in Cambridge United for a brief moment in 2004. Claude was the coach of Malaysian national team between 1994 and 1995. Only for that period of 2 years too, he left quite a legacy. You know why? He came at the wrong time. Masa tu skandal rasuah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Then and in 2004, Cambridge United appointed him as the manager mentor for Rena. Rena, as we know, as we are fully aware, guided Saudi Arabia to a historic win over Argentina, a 2-1 win. But did you see his halftime talk? Okay, when he was really passionate, he was really angry with the team, trying to push the team to perform to their to optimum level. And he said that if you want to take pictures with Messi, take your phone and take pictures with Messi. Kan? So macam mana apa pendapat you Datuk dalam keadaan masa tegang tu, half time tu dia cakap macam tu. Then I think the players responded positively.
So I think to my opinion, as a standpoint of a coach, that's a reverse psychology statement. All right, right. He's actually telling them, look, you want to snap photo with top stars. Haven't you thought of that? Someone wants to snap photo with you. So you are in equal par with him, right? Why you degrade yourself to say like he is the man? In this platform, everybody is the man because this is the World Cup. So he wants to bring that sense of awareness in the halftime. Halftime talk is very important because the sentence, the words can change the entire game in the second half. One or two things, you need to tell them the entire chronology of 45 minutes. Nobody does that, nobody listens that, they'll show you the middle finger and off they go. But the thing is, what need to be done, how it need to be done, and who is going to execute it. That's it. You want to talk about Messi? That's right, he said you take a photo and go and snap with it. But now we are talking about to bounce back in the second half. So I to my opinion, it was a clear message. I think player understood, right? Don't mess around because he is trying to tell us something, which I think triggered some of these thoughts of these players, and they went out to play. And that was, to my opinion, that was a right statement. It was not, so to speak, to scold them. You need something to psych them up, to tell them it is not okay to be like this in the first half. We ought to be better in the second half. Therefore, I got to raise my voice. That doesn't mean I don't like you. I trust you because they can bail him out from jail also. If they lose, he will lose his job. So these guys have got to say, bail me out from jail if we win. So I think this is a beautiful thing that happened in the second half.
Okay, Datuk, thank you. Harish, you bayangkan Harish 2018 pun tak ada immediate release of a video halftime talk. But this was quickly released after the match. 1 or 2 days after the match, dah went viral over the world. Rena giving that pep talk or during halftime. How does that change the way we look at football? Macam mana tu sebenarnya? Apa pendapat you Haresh?
Ya, pendapat saya ialah at the end of the day, bola sepak ni they have finally embraced that it has to be entertainment. It's all part of entertainment. There is a working formula. It's called WWE. Whether you like it or not. Okay?
Tapi itu berlakon.
It's berlakon. It's but it survived decades of TV.
Exactly.
Created loyal fans. I mean, who would think that berlakon, it's fake, it's scripted, but yet so many fans, So it's a
in our local front also we had somebody throwing the bottle and punching at the whiteboard.
So I was just about to say
I
that.
see. So whether it's a drama or what is it?
So
that's TV. That's good TV.
That's good TV. So
that's good TV.
As what Datuk refusing to mention who that was, but I was mentioned Boyan Hodak with the KL team. it made good TV.
Exactly,
And it
exactly.
gave, it humanized
Yeah.
the whole, approach
Experience.
and experience to football. True. So you know what goes behind the scenes. I think that's more valuable than sometimes seeing what happens or what translate. I think that is like the part of the storytelling process.
Yeah.
You know, from there, that is what you have achieved here.
Kalau Liga Inggeris kita tahu macam Guardiola banyak ada video-video kan. La Liga Zidane giving last minute instruction before they enter the second half. 2018 I remember Paul Pogba inspiring the team.
Yes.
Final against Croatia.
Betul.
You know,
Ronaldo pun ada.
Ronaldo,
bila dia marah. Clip. But sometimes it can be misconstrued, it can backfire, you know.
Yeah, true.
Because while we may see it as inspiring, some people may see it as pure arrogance. Like in the case of Cristiano Ronaldo, cara dia inspire team tu, mungkin ada setengah orang menyatakan bahawa itulah, you know, dia memberi inspirasi, you know, cara dia motivate. Tapi ada pula yang menyatakan bahawa poyo. Ingat budak orang-orang lain tak ada otak sendiri, tak boleh, you know.
That means kalau the media team of the respective teams kena be very selective lah.
Very selective lah.
When it comes to releasing certain content.
Correct.
Compelling content.
Compelling content. And the other one is a picture that I must mention here. Yang pasukan Jepun bila mereka habis selesai perlawanan, bersihkan semua, siap dengan origami.
Yang itu baru sekarang tahu. Sekarang kita dah lama tahu tim Jepun kalau datang ni memang dia bersihkan kan. Betul.
Those are the things behind the scene that people need to know. I
Yeah.
think that is good TV. It's no harm for you to show, like as you say, selective thing. Go and show actually what's happening in the dressing room. It's no harm. It's not a miracle or tactically like will happen. Somebody can spy you and do within that 15 minutes interval break. What the hell you can do? But this is something to tell you for fellow coaches especially, how to handle the halftime talk. This is something because we don't see it. Yeah. We just read it on the book. So your experience. But this is actually good in the World Cup. Yeah. For technical people.
Tapi Rizal mentioned about the fact that he told the players, if you want to take your phone, you know. My moment where I remember him the best is bila dia kata to the players, dia kata all of you all are standing like that, you should be standing like that. You know, that is something I tell my 6-year-old.
Body shape lah, body shape.
No, it's something I tell my 6-year-old, why are you standing straight? No.
Body shape.
So you imagine.
Always alert lah.
Always alert. You're talking to professional footballers and you still have to remind them to be alert.
You know that you know why that took place? Because the Saudi Arabian players were given space.
Were giving space.
Giving space to Messi and giving him too much respect.
Correct.
Dia nak ni.
It's more to stand still than stay open. But stay open.
That means you should be marking him instead of
Betul.
giving him
Exactly.
space.
Tapi yang the beauty is that tak sangka pula professional player pun you kena remind.
It will happen. It will happen.
Dia orang pun orang biasa. Human being, they need to be reminded all the time.
Of course.
Yalah,
Macam
true.
kita nak ajar anak-anak pun, we need to remind them all the time.
All the time.
Exactly.
Anak-anak pun kadang-kadang remind kita all the time.
Exactly.
Tadi you were speaking about Japan kan tadi? Japan. So happen Mitch Duke, the Australian scorer. He plays for Fagiano Okayama. Club Hadi Fayad Abdul Razak juga. You know, but Hadi Fayad has been loaned out to Azul Claro Numazu J3. Mitch Duke plays in J2 dekat Jepun. Yet has been able to score winning goal for Australia. You know?
I mean, look, our players need to go abroad lah. You know, we need to timba ilmu. We need to gain that experience. Rizal, you've been writing about this. Remember when Akmal Rizal, Rakli,
In
he
France,
played in France. You know, you wrote so many stories about that. You know, when Safi Salih went to Indonesia, I remember writing about it, and also our Stanley went to Goa. But we've only had pockets of, and right now we do have players yang memang di luar negara, tapi tak cukup lah. We need more of that players. Look at team Japan. Quite a number of their players are playing in the German league.
Yeah,
Semua basically they are playing. Most of them. Yep. Datuk, macam mana Datuk?
I think basically I agreed with Haresh because if you have expand the number of people going out to expose, you will come back with a different ideology, different thoughts, different way of looking at football in a different dimension. If you keep here, yes, we will be among the group of players here, and then after the game you go take your nasi lemak, and roti canai and teh tarik and sleeping late. This all happens, but it will teach you to adopt with new culture, mature in your game, come back and do something extra than what is happening here. It's my opinion.
Okay, now we talk about Japan losing to Costa Rica a short while ago. You know, the match finished before 8 kan tadi. Losing 1-0 to an 81st minute goal to Costa Rica. Despite that upset over Germany, susah-susah dah menang, dah beat Germany 2-1 tu, kalah pula second game with a team that conceded 7 goals against Spain. So how do you reconcile that fact tu, Haresh? Macam mana tu?
I was watching the match, okay, in preparation for the show.
Yeah.
I was writing down my notes, literally, and I was really gathering my thoughts, saying that Costa Rica is the worst team in the World Cup today. And suddenly, goal.
Yes.
I'm like, no, rubbish. They are still the worst team.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
because it's just a fluke shot.
Yeah.
Only one attempt at goal and they scored. Okay, fine lah. I mean, luck was on their side. The gods must have been, aligned to them for this particular moment. Tak tahu apa bomoh dia pakai ke apa, tak tahulah. Tapi bottom line, this is football.
Yeah.
The Japanese team, in my opinion, both teams were rubbish in the first half.
Yeah, true.
There were pretty much no. The goalkeepers were not
they were
tested.
tested, yeah.
They were sluggish. Is it because of playing during lunch hour in Qatar?
Okay, yes, it could be, number one. Dia balik pada kita punya local leagues tau. Train pagi, main malam. I don't understand the logic, okay, but that's a different conversation lah. So, it could be that, yang tu yang pertama. Yang kedua, it could be dua-dua pasukan are feeling overly pressured to win. Hear me out.
Hear me out. Kalau seri pun boleh ada ni lagi, okay.
Japan wanted to prove that there were no flash in the pan.
Okay.
So they came in wanting, very eager with the momentum. It's a different game. We need to win because kalau menang dengan Costa Rica, they pretty much secured.
Exactly. They secure 6 points already.
Because after this is going to be, Spain and it's going to be even worse. So for Costa Rica, is redemption. Dah kena taruh 7-0. They need to do something. A 0-0 pun dah cukup. Park the bus, letaklah semua 11 player depan goal, That was all they wanted. But instead, they both started playing very messy. And it was concentrated.
Right.
Kalau perasan, it was just within the center of the field. The ball was just going there, that's all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You were saying Fuller's goal was a fluke. But the keeper, I think, misjudged the shot.
I wouldn't say it's a fluke lah. I mean,
off
it's,
position.
what I'm trying to say is that it's just one attempt and he got it right. And yeah, I really feel for the Japanese team. That's all.
Now both Costa Rica, Japan ada 3 points.
Yeah.
Spain ada 3 points.
Yes.
Germany 0.
Yes.
Kan, lepas ni kalau Germany pula kalahkan Spanyol, dapat
You
3
think
points,
so?
permutation. No, but I mean realistically lah, I think it's difficult for Germany to beat Spain. Okay?
Yeah, I mean,
tapi kita cerita tu kemudian.
Betul.
Because we need to talk
As
about
we are talking about the 7-0
Yes.
earlier and now beating Japan, it's crazy, mathematically it's crazy, result flashing out is crazy. But to my opinion, how that one goal came about is probably could be a split second lapse of concentration that could have killed you.
Defenders like.
So it's this is cruelty of football.
Yeah.
You will attack for 90 minutes and you will get
Yes.
one transition play on counter attack. Thank you very much, 1-0 of the goal. We also saw the 2-1 result last night also. All the while the Reds were dominating and suddenly the Blue came in the last minute to score one and came back again and took back the cup.
Okay. Now Morocco pula leading 1-0 dengan Belgium.
Oh,
As
wow.
we-
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
This World Cup is full of surprises, man.
Exactly.
memang.
Magic of Qatar, I
Bahang
guess.
dia sepanas macam bahang dekat Qatar lah.
Bagus. Tapi dia ada fan tau. Dia ada angin sedut untuk mensejukkan suhu dia.
Haji Saifuddin was a guest in our show in
Yeah,
first
yeah,
episode.
first
He was
one,
telling us that the stadium was all fully air conditioned, right? So they condition the temperature at 18 degrees Celsius. Because kalau ikut sekarang ni, waktu sekarang ni dalam 24 darjah Celsius dia punya suhu. di luar di Doha lah.
Okay.
But in the stadium they need to maintain it at
Yeah,
18 degrees Celsius.
Wonders of technology.
So let's move on to a short preview of Croatia, Canada. Before we talk about Spain and Germany. Croatia, they need to win. You know, Canada pun perlukan kemenangan. Macam mana? Apa pendapat you, Haresh?
Croatia akan menang.
Croatia akan menang. One on paper senang lah pilih. Okay.
Bukan nak kata on paper. Ini because of the way Canada is entering to this match. I think they are being too full of themselves. I think they are underestimating that
Croatia.
I think the coach must be a bit delusional. I think he's thinking of playing Costa Rica instead of Croatia. I think he's getting it wrong because I think he's insulted the Croatian team. Remember the press conference bila dia kata whatever it is we will toot the team. And that became a contention because the Croatian team coach especially,
Dalic,
he was very upset. He said that at the end of the day you need to respect and respect the fact that we were the
runners up 2018
and
they were the
2018.
finals of the World Cup. So I mean, sometimes statement do trigger otherwise. Right? You can say what you want because you're at that stage, but mind you, remember we are all finalists, World Cup finalists, even though we lost, so that sometimes you pay a heavy price when you open your mouth at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Luka Modric ni pun marah lah ni dengan Ivan Perisic, siapa semua mesti marah ni. Kan? But maybe after performing quite creditably against Belgium, you know, Alphonso Davies missing a penalty, the penalty was saved by Thibaut Courtois. They feel that they can bounce back. So happened against Croatia, the runners-up in the previous edition. So maybe the coach was trying to inspire the players, you know, for them to regain their confidence ahead of the match.
For me,
Respect
it is a two different statement. Like if you want to snap photo with Messi, you take there and saying this. It's two different thing, you know.
No, you want to say that, you say that in the dressing room lah, not the press conference lah.
He wants to show his big, he's confident, but you can't be going there. Sorry to say, I'm not being biased. Right? You can't be going there and defending with your maple leaf.
Maple leaf punya ni.
So let's be more realistic about it.
I think he's got confused as well. I think he thinks this is ice hockey and it's not football.
Maple leaf tu jadi slippery ni pula slope pula nanti. Morocco, Belgium prediction. Sekarang ni tengah main ni.
I think we'll draw lah. Belgium will
Draw, Datuk?
Belgium will pull one back.
I think Belgium will win.
Belgium will win,
Yep.
They meaning that they can ni lah sekarang ni.
We've got how many more minutes on the?
Berapa minit lagi ni? Dalam setengah jam lagi kot. Dalam setengah jam lagi.
I think we are looking.
Game Canada dengan Croatia. Prediction.
Croatia.
Comfortable win?
Of course.
For Croatia?
To me, 4-0 lah. I'll go to the minimum. 4-0.
wow.
Okay.
Whack!
I was just thinking
bold
about
prediction.
2-0.
Whack! They will whack. I tell you, statement provoked them. Earlier was 2-0, yes. After that statement is 4.
4-0.
4. We're going to whack them already.
Okay. Alright, we'll go for a break. After this, we'll be discussing Spain versus Germany. Stay tuned.
Rizal and Anas, I have a question for you guys about the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Who are you guys rooting for?
Brazil or Argentina?
Two teams.
Yes.
How about you?
I want a surprise, an African team to win the World Cup.
What team is that?
Ghana or Senegal.
It's very interesting. For me, I'm rooting for Brazil.
Who's your name?
A part of it is yes, because of his skills. But if you want to see us discuss more on the upcoming FIFA World Cup, don't forget to tune in SinarDaily.my and follow all of our social media platforms to see the latest updates on the upcoming episodes.
The Footy Forum will illuminate your football diaries
And eliminate your political fatigue.
Okay, see you guys there.
to basics.
Rizal and Anas, I have a question for you guys about the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Who are you guys rooting for?
Brazil or Argentina?
Two teams.
Yes.
How about you?
I want a surprise, an African team to win the World Cup.
What team is that?
Ghana or Senegal.
That's very interesting. For me, I'm rooting for Brazil.
Who's your Neymar?
Part of it is yes, because of his skills. But if you want to see us discuss more on the upcoming FIFA World Cup, don't forget to tune in sinardaily.my and follow all of our social media platforms to see the latest updates on the upcoming episodes.
The Footy Forum will illuminate your football diaries.
And eliminate your political fatigue.
Okay, see you guys there.
Okay, we are back on the Footy Forum, and I'm eating kacang. So now, Spain, Germany. Which one would be the tough nut to crack? Haresh,
Spain and Germany, yeah?
Spain and Germany.
Okay.
Germany needs to win. They have no choice.
Yeah.
They have no option but to win. 3 points, do or die.
Okay, here's a disclaimer.
Why must we have a disclaimer?
I've always been a fan of the
Germany.
German team.
Yep.
Okay. However, after what I saw at the opening game, that's why I'm wearing my black shirt and not my Germany jersey today.
I think in morning.
No, number one, morning, and number two, I think I want to give more credit to the men in black, our referees, rather
But they
than.
no longer wear black.
Yeah, I know. True. But why I'm saying that is because number one, I think the German team were very disrespectful with their whole protests covering their mouth and all
Okay.
that. Okay, they brought politics and everything else into the game.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, I didn't like what the defender, apa orang kata, is Rudiger.
Antonio Rudiger.
What Rudiger did to a Japanese player. You know, after the first goal was scored, then he was running alongside the Japanese player, and what he was doing is cara dia berlari itu macam memperlekehkan or you know the Japanese player, cara dia lari kan. I didn't like that. That is not what a professional should do. That's zero professionalism. And I think this German team lack one thing that is not seen in all the other German teams. The German team that I grew up with, a real leader.
A real leader, yeah.
I'm not seeing
Not
it in
even
this-
Gundogan.
No one. I thought Müller would actually play that role. He's not even playing that role.
No, he's the most senior player.
He should be
Exactly,
playing that role,
yes.
but I don't even see him playing that role. You know, having grown up with like the likes of Oliver Kahn and all that,
Exactly.
you had one strong individual to control the team.
Yeah.
So it gets me thinking to what happened to this whole Dust reboot. Remember?
Yeah,
The
Dust
whole concept
reboot,
of
yeah.
Dust reboot.
Yep.
Yep. The writer Raphael Honigstein.
I don't see it in this team, to be very honest. And you know what? Against Spain, I won't be surprised they'll be out of the competition. I think Spain will give them ego bruising
Encounter.
Huh? Yeah.
Datuk, do you agree with that, Datuk?
I mean, that's the character part of it.
Okay.
The character part, the attitude part, the provocation. Of course, I strongly agree with Haresh, the way you provoked, you're all in the same level of professional, you don't put another professional player down, that's another ego part of them. But playing ability. Now, are you ready to come into this tournament with good profile player with playing ability? You can have the best record behind you, but you have the wrong profile player playing with the wrong attitude, it will backfire you. So, to my opinion, Spain will take on them tonight. And they are going to also look at the end of the tunnel of exit if they're going to lose tonight. Right? Me too, at some point, my favorite because I do my studies in German, Frankfurt and everything, came back. But I agree. This is something character that doesn't jive with their ability now. You show a character, but it doesn't jive with your ability. You want to provoke him in that manner. You go out there and score goals and tell, look, I can do this at the same time I can score. But you provoking at the next minute he whack you. So what is that for you to prove?
Correct.
So I think, sure, there's no leader. I don't see Thomas Miller also holding the fort to say like, hey, come, let's together. But I think they all are playing to their own ego. Sad to see if with tomorrow's headlines, goodbye German.
Yeah.
Sad to say.
Die Mannschaft die.
Die, Mannschaft die.
No, because we talk about record, and I want to just add what Richard said. Just going back to records. They enter into this tournament, and I think they played 9 games, and from 9 matches, they've only won twice.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. And their last encounter with Spain, they kena whack 6-0.
6-0, betul.
In the Nations League.
6-0, yeah.
And their triangle format, you think it works, it looks pretty on paper, but when execution wise, it's like.
But for a team that in recent time, I mean they've won the cup not long ago, just 8 years ago, in Brazil. They've lost their aura of invisibility. In the 70s they had the likes of Beckenbauer, Overath, reigning supreme. In the 80s they had Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Then they had Jürgen Klinsmann, the likes of Jürgen Klinsmann winning the Euros. And then Mesut Ozil.
Exactly.
And then,
Lucas Podolski and that whole group.
And the Philip Lahm.
Yes.
Kimmich maybe was supposed to be someone who can succeed Philip Lahm in terms of influence and leadership ability. Tapi tak jadi juga.
I don't see that.
And Hansi Flick, I think is trying hard, not to fail again after Joachim Löw. The team suffered the ignominy of finishing last in the group in the previous edition juga. This another embarrassing one is staring at them now. So, what would be the consequence of Germany kalah lagi?
The consequence.
The consequence of Germany losing, katakan.
You see, the thing is that consequence tu, kalau kita lihat pada persembahan mereka di 2018, the consequence we should have seen then itself. Tapi dia seolah-olah macam German team ni tak begitu peduli dengan the consequence. I mean, it gets bad press sehari sedua, people kutuk them, but after that it's life as usual. They go back to their rumah besar, kereta mewah, their expensive lifestyle, and nothing changes. And we are seeing a repeat of, because remember 2018 their first match was against Korea, mereka kalah 2-0.
True.
And now they kalah 2-1 dengan Jepun, so the same script will occur again. And I think they don't deserve, because and I'm judging this based on their opening performance.
Exactly.
I think they don't deserve to be in this World Cup.
Germany?
Yeah, they don't deserve.
Harsh.
Yes.
Coming from a Germany fan.
Yes, because this is not the true DNA of the German football.
He's speaking from his heart.
Yeah.
Speaking of his heart.
Yeah, he's expressing himself.
Kalau betul, salah tu salah lah. Dia macam
frustrated.
German
fan.
In some way lah.
In some ways lah.
We could acknowledge that lah.
Nasib baik I fan Prancis.
And they are actually doing very well. And I won't be surprised they'll actually go all the way to the final.
True.
I don't think so lah.
I believe so.
You think they can sustain the pace playing in Qatar, in Asia?
Can.
European teams memang tak ada, kira poor record lah in Asia.
Have some faith.
Okay, let's talk about Spain. Okay, that 7-0 ni has become history lah. But do you think that they'll be able to carve up a comfortable victory based on what you said tadi? Memang you're confident lah, you're optimistic that Spain will win.
I mean, they need to show that they, once again, that 2-0 is
not flash in the pan.
Flash in the pan. They need to show that they are there.
Exactly.
They need to add on as many goals. Actually, they don't need to because of the goal difference. But it's ego boosting lah. Imagine scoring 4 goals against Germany. That will hammer Germans, the Germans' ego, right?
But this time around, they will face some resistance lah. Not as how they have faced Costa Rica. Definitely there will be resistance. Definitely there will be some quick transition play, if you would want to say that. And definitely there will be some strong tackles will come in as well, because like they don't want to lose as much as these guys. They just need to win 1-0 also, never mind. But look at the current situation, which I said earlier, it's going to be a 4-0 whacking for Germany.
But sir, I need to ask you this. You see, when they played against Japan, Japan made a switch of tactical in the second half. Immediately they switched the backs, from 4 to 3 and then 3 to 5 and so forth and so on. So that tactical switch, the Germans were not ready for that tactical switch. It's like as though they couldn't adapt to the tactical switch, and I find it strange because you're a bunch of professionals who've been playing in professional leagues, and this should be like something you should expect. But
playing for teams that have won Champions League,
correct.
the English League,
Big
by right
teams.
they should be more professional when it comes to. Okay, but potential match winner siapa?
For which match?
For Spain dengan Germany lah.
Yo, we both give the answer already lah. Germany lah.
Potential match winner.
Germany
Player.
lah. Oh, match winner.
Match winner.
Yeah.
There'll be a Spanish fella lah.
Ferran Torres ke, Alvaro
He'll be one
Morata
of
ke,
them,
ini kan. Siapa?
After, okay, we had extra laughs, but yeah,
jangan gol sendiri sudah lah kan? Jangan gol sendiri sudah lah.
Possible to add on to the drama. To add on to the drama, it could happen, and one probably could be a controversial goal, right? Many things can happen, but for me, it's going to be an interesting match. Surely, the interesting match, but Spain is not going to take things easy.
You talk about Spain, actually, I did some homework about this boy by the name of Ansu Fati.
Ansu Fati,
I hope things will work out for him against Germany.
He did not start in the first
I
match.
hope he
against
starts.
Costa Rica,
I hope he starts against Germany.
Probably will be given a chance.
And this boy has got a bright future ahead of him if things go well.
For Barcelona has been on the fringes. Morocco 2-2. Morocco now is leading 2-0 lah. Against the so-called golden generation of Belgium team.
So we're seeing a whole lot of upsets this time around.
Macam mana tu?
Interesting.
Probably what to my observation are teams that were not rated the best. They are the one who've done an excellent homework prior to this one. And the guys, people are top 5 and top 6, they say we were the top champions, we came into the game. But that's where the upsets are coming. So I think the teams like Japan, the teams like Saudi Arabia, they have really analyzed the match and prepared themselves well to come into this tournament.
The fans seem to be enjoying themselves in Qatar, Datuk.
Yeah.
So you'll be going to Qatar and you'll be part of the fun lah nanti.
Yeah, but I'm not going to puff off myself like him.
Wi-Fi selfies like this lah.
Something like that lah. Come on lah. You don't go to World Cup every day, So.
Okay. Morocco. Okay, no, I was about to ask you, Datuk. This is the first time ever the World Cup is held in December. Actually the players are hitting peak form. As opposed to playing at the tail end of the season, usually mid-year. During the summer for European teams. So how do you see that difference, Datuk?
Coming back to sports science. It's coming back to sports science because the dates already been known. So going back to your periodization, the plan, where to pick, because you got GPP1, GPP2, GPP2, General Index 1 picking, General Index 2 picking. But now those who are playing in the English League also, that's already in the picking stage. So this is where the profiling players is important, the recovery is important, the playing time is important. You got to reserve some fellas to get quick recovery. It's not about regrouping them and training, no. Like grouping them, recovery, go into the mode of the competition. So here sports science is important, technology is important, analysis is important, and you're talking about one human being is going for a next race with a maximum acceleration. You don't want anything to happen to the body because it's all very unique. So the medical team plays a part, the sports scientist plays a part, the periodization itself plays a part. So it's very important to take care of all these components.
Datuk spoke about recovery, and just to understand this German team, they are staying 100 km away from where the action is.
That's why Hansi Flick did not bring a player for the press conference.
That's what he claims lah, but actually we all know why lah. But anyway, logically speaking, if you were to be bringing a team, wouldn't you want to be staying somewhere where you go back so that you can, because 100 km would translate in I was informed that it's about an hour 15 minutes drive.
Yeah, I think that.
So you're wasting 1 hour on the road, 1 hour going, 1 hour coming back.
Exactly.
I thought the organizer have provided helicopter.
No, the organizers have got to look into all these things, because during the managers meeting, these guys have got to voice out. Look, I don't want to say this.
No, they chose. The German team chose that particular place, chose to stay 100 km away. So my question is why? Because like you rightfully pointed out, recovery is very important. So if I were to be a coach, look, if I were to be a fan or anyone, why would I spend 1 hour going, 1 hour coming to a location?
Well, that's another point that they have got to look into.
Yeah.
Because what type of bus they are traveling, that's another thing, right? Because if it's a double decker, very layman thing is like player stays up.
Maybe what they do is to park the bus.
Park the bus for what?
Technical terms lah, Datuk. Park the bus.
There's no such thing as park the bus. You go out there and play football. You want to park the bus, you go sit in the grandstand. Everybody parking the seat and watching the game. It's like a word to talk about park the bus. There's no such thing technically as park the bus. There's EPL, there's English League terminologies that's coming. You want to park the bus, you don't come and play football. You bring some flower pots.
Introduced by Mourinho, is it?
I mean the words. What do you mean park the bus? There's a purpose for parking the bus also. You cannot, if not you put all flower pots. It's parked what? There is individuals standing there, they have a role to play. Even though you've parked the bus. Right? Like you said earlier, you stand straight, stay low. This is attention, you are
vigilant.
Stay low, be vigilant, stay
Okay,
open.
okay.
So,
Alright.
you see, you just hike me up now. You just hike me up now.
Okay. So on that line, on that score, on that note, Datuk, we need to bid farewell lah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Datuk
You're
Richard
most
Scully,
welcome. You're most
Vice President
Yeah.
of Football Coaches Association of Malaysia, or in bahasa it's Persatuan Jurulatih Bola Sepak Malaysia, PJBM.
Yep.
Thank you for spending your precious time with us.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Haresh Deol, multiple award-winning journalist and editor of 2213.my and a famous sports critic. Thank you for sharing with us your frustration as a Germany fan and for predicting that Germany will lose heavily against Spain, and also for Canada to lose against Croatia tonight. So guys, stay tuned to the Footy Forum Qatar World Cup 2022. For the next episode on Tuesday, we'll be bringing some girl power. So stay tuned, and don't forget, stay up and watch the match against Croatia against Canada, and also Spain versus Germany, which the panelists agree that Spain will win comfortably. Good night.